Hello and welcome to Season 5 of Stuck in the Sim Bin. It has been a long summer without hockey and we are so excited that it has finally returned. Fortunately, the season is in full swing, bringing us a ton of exciting and exhilarating news to discuss. I am your host, Michael McCormack, and I am joined alongside by some newcomers, Aiden Ryan and Jack Tafalos. How are we doing, boys?
Doing great. Ready to get started.
Can't wait to talk some hockey, fellas.
Ooh, love the attitude. All right. As mentioned before, the 2019-20 season is already 3 weeks in, giving us a lot of matchups to look forward to. Let's break down these 4 upcoming games. Our first matchup is the Battle of Pennsylvania, where the Pittsburgh Penguins are hosting their cross-state rivals, the Philadelphia Flyers. This rivalry dates back to 1967, and it's looking like this game is shaping up to be a good one. What are we thinking, boys?
So, this is their first matchup of the season. Huge rivalry game. Always a heated rivalry. Remember back to that playoff series. Wild series. And Philadelphia, an interesting storyline this year, is they're 6th in the Metro right now, only 5-3-1. They're kind of underperforming for what people thought they had. But Travis Konechny doing well for them. 9 games, he got 12 points, including the game in Europe. He had a big game over there. And Ivan Provorov playing well with Matt Niskanen. They're providing some stability on the back end, and their goaltending has been okay, a little shaky, but they'll power through it.
Yeah, Jack, I want to mention that the 3 coaches that they have behind the bench are Alain Vigneault, Michel Therrien, and Mike Yeo. All 3 been fired for bad reasons with their last coaches. I mean, being Ranger fans, we know Alain Vigneault pretty well.
Oh, don't get me started.
What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think they're good coaches. It's clearly why they're struggling. I don't understand why they were hired. I don't know. I like how the Rangers went out and got a young college coach to come in and change it up. It's like the NHL is just recycling coaches, and they're not working in one place. Why are they going to work for you? You know, get new coaches in here, and you know it'd be a lot more fun for the league.
Yeah, we saw with Dallas they got Jim Montgomery. I mean, the Flyers tried it with Dave Haxtell, and that didn't work out very well. So I guess that's why they're recycling more coaches, like you said.
But AV, man, I don't know.
Yeah, AV's pretty bad. Well, I'd love to hear all that insight, and that game will be Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our next matchup is between the struggling Dallas Stars and the powerhouse Colorado Avalanche. This is a top-line versus top-line matchup. What can we expect from this Central Division matchup?
Well, like you said, it's going to be a top-line matchup. One player I'm going to point out to look out for is Andre Burakovsky. 4 goals, 5 assists in 11 games so far. One thing I don't really understand, and maybe you guys agree, disagree, but why is he not playing with McKinnon on the top line now that
totally agree.
Now that Rantanen's out?
Especially with that opening,
Yeah, I thought that he was going to be the one to play with him if Rantanen didn't get the contract and was holding out. So that's confusing to me, but I don't know, maybe they just don't want to mess up the line chemistry?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned before the show that pretty much any player on this roster can play anywhere. We see Jonas Donskoi playing with Kadri and Burakovsky, and Jonas Donskoi is a pretty good player. I'm surprised he could be even on the first line too. So what are you thinking, Aiden?
Yeah, as you said, Donskoi is a huge piece. He was a big player for San Jose when he was there. He had that playoff run against Pittsburgh in the Cup final.
Absolutely.
He had a huge series for them. I see him do similar things, especially if Colorado gets to the playoffs this year. He can provide that same stability up front. Maybe a top 2 line player playing the wing right now with Burakovsky. So they're an interesting line to watch.
And we get to see potential Calder Trophy candidate Cale Makar out there.
Absolute powerhouse.
He's good. I like that kid.
Yeah. I guess it didn't really matter that they got rid of Tyson Berry because Cale Makar is the real deal.
Yeah,
that's an upgrade.
They got Kadri there, more depth on forward, so it was a good trade. Good trade for Colorado. But we definitely got to look out for Dallas's top players because they've been pretty disappointing this year. Not pretty disappointing, very disappointing. It's kind of been embarrassing.
Yeah.
And the GM even called him out on it.
Again?
And that game will be Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our third game is between 2 red-hot teams, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Edmonton Oilers. For the first time this season, Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby will face off against each other. What will this game have in store for us?
So Crosby and McDavid, obviously the 2 names you think of first when you think of the NHL, hockey in general. They're tearing it up this year, both of them on top of their game, leading their team in points. And for Edmonton, what I really like is Draisaitl picking up where he left off last year. 50 goals last year, fitting nicely in on the power play. along with James Neal, the newcomer for Milan Lucic.
9 goals.
little bit of a lopsided trade there, I might say. But yeah, 9 goals so far, 6 of them on the power play.
Wait, did you say a trade for the Oilers went their way?
Yeah, that's kind of
Milan
wild, right?
Lucic? Yeah. Oh, yeah, because Adam Larson and
Yeah.
Taylor Hall. Oof.
Trading penalty minutes for
1-for-1.
goals.
1-1, actually. Yeah.
But yeah, he's been incredible for them.
Yeah, that's been awesome.
Yeah. So Crosby and McDavid, they've faced off 6 times so far against each other. And points-wise, McDavid's had the upper hand here. 3 goals, 7 assists in the 6 games they've played. And Crosby only 2 goals, 2 assists, which isn't very like him. Usually he's putting up more points. But Penguins have the upper hand here. They're 6-0 versus the Oilers when they play.
Yeah, and that game will be Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our last game preview is between the New York Islanders and the Buffalo Sabres.
Ugh.
Both teams will have an absolutely fantastic start to their season and do not look to be slowing down anytime soon. What will this game give us?
I'm not looking to slow down soon, maybe to you, but they will. Most
wow.
overrated teams in the NHL by far. But I
Wow.
will say that the Islanders do have Matthew Barzal, who's one of the most fascinating players to watch. Hate to say it, he's one of my favorite players in the NHL, even though he's on the Islanders.
Yeah.
I wish he went somewhere else so I could enjoy him more. But
Thank you, Peter Chiarelli.
watching him with the puck is crazy. He's so creative, controls the pace of the game. No one can take the puck from him. When he skates circles around the zone with the puck, it's magical.
It's kind of what Aiden does in roller hockey.
Yeah. Tries to model his game after his favorite player.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's definitely fun to watch.
No, yeah.
And you get to watch a lot of them, so.
Yeah, and then the Buffalo Sabres, they got Victor Olofsson, 6 goals, 4 assists this year in 10 games. Power play specialist.
Oh.
Played rookie this year, but played a little bit last year. NHL that still qualifies for as a rookie. But his first 8 goals this year, and only goals he's ever scored in his career, all on the power play.
Absolutely mind-blowing.
Wizard on the power play.
And he's playing on Eichel's line, on the top line. How does he not get any goals on?
I have no idea.
It doesn't make any sense.
He's also a 7th round pick, too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, absolute
Crazy.
steal.
Yeah.
And that's all we have for now. But when we come back, the boys and I will discuss what to do or what not to do as the general manager for these 3 hockey clubs. You're watching Stuck in the Sin Bin on WTOP 10.
Like a Morris code. Get your hands up in the air. This is a sticker. Get your hands up in the air and wave them around. I like it.
Stuck in the Sin Bin. It's time to introduce our newest segment to the show that is inspired off of one of our favorite game modes in the EA Sports NHL game franchise, and that is Be a GM or Coach. Minus the coach on that. Aiden, Jack, and I will talk about 2 hot stories in the NHL that require precise movements by either the coaching staff or the general manager. And this week, our highly touted coach, Mike Babcock, and the Toronto Maple Leafs, Canada's team, as they like to refer to themselves, are 6-5-2 so far through 13 games this season. While that does sound half decent, we are seeing a Trojan horse type of situation going on. Dating back to last year's Game 7 versus the Bruins, Austin Matthews was only given 17 minutes of ice time. In Game 7, down by 1 goal. Fans have been in an uproar over this misutilization, that is a crazy word, of players and lack of defensive hockey. With this team yet to break out into the second round of the playoffs under Mike Babcock, what would be a viable option for Kyle Dubas to choose as general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs? Or what can Mike Babcock do to save his job? Aiden?
Well, Mike Babcock should just not be coaching Toronto. There's way too much talent on that team for him to deal with. He's more of a defensive-minded coach, and that's a team they're a very modern NHL team. A lot of young guys, a lot of speed up front, a lot of talent.
Yeah, but he's won a cup.
That's true, but he was basically handed that team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean Babcock, it just doesn't work. He doesn't fit the system the right way.
Do you think Sheldon Keefe should step in, the Toronto Marlies head coach? Was developed, Nylander, soon to be Rasmus Sandin and Timothy Liljegren. Do you think he should step in for Babcock?
I think maybe it's an interim kind of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's familiar with the players. He's familiar with the big names in that market now.
Right.
And they're the ones that are going to carry this team through alongside Austin Matthews, obviously.
Yeah.
He's their guy. Mitch Marner, him too. They just don't seem to produce as well as they should with Babcock, and that will not win them a cup.
Yeah. Jack, what do you think Kyle Dubas should do about this whole situation? Should he fire him? Should he look to find a replacement to hire? What are you thinking?
Well, I don't even think it's a question. He should be fired. That guy doesn't deserve to be there. I like your idea of the AHL coach coming in, stepping in, and taking over.
Yeah.
He's done a great job developing players. But I got to ask you something. Do you mean if you only play your star player 17 minutes in a Game 7, you're not going to win?
Look, you know, Mike Babcock, and for Aiden and Jack, they know me pretty well, so I do not like Mike Babcock whatsoever. He is the most overrated coach. If he could develop a line of fourth liners or an entire team of fourth liners, he'd probably do it. I think Mike Babcock, he should have been fired last year. There's no reason why he should still be having a job now. I think that if you look at how he uses Austin Matthews, he never puts him in the D zone. They're trying to develop Austin Matthews into like a Jonathan Taves type of player.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to do that is if you play him in the D zone. Like, why are you not playing Austin Matthews in the D zone if you want to have him become a complete player? I think Mike Babcock seriously needs a reality check on his job. If he thinks that he's, I'm getting paid the most out of any NHL coach, and he thinks he's not going to get fired, all right, he needs to go to, I don't know. I have no idea.
Let me give you some stats real quick on Mike Babcock. 1 cup, all right, with the Red Wings.
Super team.
He was saved by a roster that had Lidstrom on it, and one of many absolute studs on that team. Since Lidstrom retired, Mike Babcock's record in the playoffs is 19-27, and he's made it to the second round once since 2013. Once. Elite coach, though. Greatest coach in the league. And not to mention, a lot of his past players don't like him and speak out about how bad of a coach he is.
Mike Commodore, I believe, is one of those.
All the time.
Got out of Toronto and lit him up.
Oh, yeah. He's got some choice words for Mike Babcock, and there's more players that just don't like him. But like you said, he doesn't know how to develop players. You got a stud like Austin Matthews, and that just blows my mind. 17 minutes in a Game 7 against your division rival.
It's the second
the
time
Bruins.
they've played them in the playoffs.
Took them to 7 in both the past 2 years, and they couldn't come through with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that might have something to do with it. 17 minutes. That's a joke.
And honestly, that only goes to hurt Matthews. They're trying to develop him, like you said, into this one-way player. They need to develop him into a two-way player. And when you're not giving him the minutes that he deserves in those big-time moments are where he's going to shine.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So when he doesn't get those minutes, that does nothing but hurt him in the long
Big-time
run.
players make big-time plays in big-time
Exactly.
moments.
Yeah,
It's a saying for a reason.
if you throw you look at Dan Bilesma on Pittsburgh, look at the team that he had: Crosby, Malkin, Letang, everybody on that roster that won in 2009.
Yeah.
Mike Babcock's the same way with Detroit.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he's not doing anything with Toronto. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
That's all great insight, gentlemen. And when we come back, the gang and I will give you our predictions for the winners of the Calder, the Hart, and Norris trophies. We'll be right back. I'm stuck in the Sin Bin.
I might get funky like Titus is a mic junkie. See, I wonder, I told ya. Round with that soldier, they be hype like soldier. See it stop.
Welcome back to Stuck in the Sin Bin. Although the 2019-20 season is 3 weeks in, it's prediction time, gents. This season is chock full of electrifying rookies, high-caliber defensemen, prolific forwards, and top-tier tendies. All right, boys, who is taking home the Calder Trophy for this year's best NHL rookie?
So I got Cale Makar. I don't even think it's close.
Oh,
Obviously,
enough.
guys like Kakko
Enough.
and Hughes, they're going to compete.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this guy is going to have an impact on his team.
Mm-hmm.
He, as of now, 10 points, a goal and 9 assists, 11 games so far, but he looks dominant on the ice. Like, he stands out.
Yeah, he's
and
a stud.
Yeah, he is a stud. And he's quarterbacking the power play along with McKinnon.
Didn't he score in his first game in the playoffs?
Yeah,
Exactly.
First
Played a college game, got on a flight, went to Colorado for the playoffs, played the next night and scored.
Exactly.
First game.
Yep.
He's a stud. He's going to be good.
Jack, who's your prediction?
Well, I think we all know who my prediction is.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's Capo Kakko. Slow start to the season, just like Jack Hughes, the number 1 and 2 pick that everyone thought were going to tear it up. Both not looking too hot right now. Kakko, I think that has a lot to do with the fact that he's playing with lesser skilled line mates like Brendan Lemieux,
Yeah.
Who's the center on that line? Howden.
Howden, sometimes not. No, that's it. Howden.
It's very different players.
Yeah, and they're good players, but they're not gonna put up points for you. And Kako, you don't take someone second overall to play on your third line.
Yeah.
And not put up points. Why is he not playing with guys like Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider? Strome. He's not really a second line center in the NHL, but he is for the Rangers at this point.
Yeah, and David Kuhn was saying pretty much, if you look at what he was saying, read between the lines, everything that Kako did to become the second overall pick, he said that doesn't matter. That's a little ridiculous coming from David Quinn. He pretty much said that you need to change your entire game. So,
yeah, all Rangers fans loved him last year, and a lot of us are scratching our heads now on what he's doing. It's not really understandable, but in Quinn we trust, I guess, so I'm going to trust him. But I do think Kako will turn it around. I do think he'll be playing with better line mates, and I do think he will take the Calder and not Kyle McCarr.
Agreed. Interesting picks. And next trophy is the Hart Trophy for the most valuable player to his team. What do you guys got?
Nathan McKinnon, sticking with the Avs
great
on
pick.
this one.
Great pick.
Avs are taking home a lot of hardware this year.
Oh, yeah.
But Nathan McKinnon, 24 years old, still not in his prime, which is unbelievable when you watch him play. He just tears defenses apart. He could score from literally anywhere. You saw that overtime winner in the playoffs against Mike Smith.
Unreal shot.
He's another one like Matthew Barzal. With the puck, he's just so good.
Exactly. And you never know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
For a
Magic
defenseman,
happens every time he touches it.
It's
Absolutely.
confusing when you see him coming down one-on-one on you as a defenseman.
Yeah.
It confuses you. You have no idea what to do.
He's probably so good at stick handling and skating at the same speed out of everybody in the NHL. It's
Yeah.
unreal.
Oh yeah, I'll never forget that goal against Sweden when he was on Team North America.
This guy.
Oh my God, that overtime goal against Lundqvist. I'm sorry, Lundqvist is talking negative about you, but that was just something, man. That was incredible.
Jack, who's yours?
Connor McDavid,
Awesome.
easy
Fair
pick.
pick.
Best player in the world. Sorry, Sidney Crosby, but McDavid's taking the throne now. 6 goals, 14 assists so far in 11 games. He's a +8, two-way player, great playmaker. He makes everyone around him better. Clearly, look at James Neal now this year. Obviously, he's a good player throughout his career, but terrible year last year in Calgary. Comes over to Edmonton, and now he's doing great playing with McDavid. And the Oilers are off to a hot start. If they can keep it up, I don't even think it'll be a question for McDavid to take the Hart.
If he drags a team like that to the playoffs, I think there's no reason that McDavid will compete for the Hart. I mean, that team is not that deep, and McDavid is going to have a lot of work.
And we talked earlier about McDavid having a little bit of a slump, but 20 points in 11 games is still pretty good, in my opinion.
Still pretty good,
But
yeah.
definitely McDavid and McKinnon, I don't think there'll be a third person that's close.
Yeah. And the last one is the Norris Trophy, given to the NHL's best defenseman. Who are your picks?
I got Seth Jones.
I like that.
in
pick.
a good
Columbus.
pick.
Yeah, playing under John Tortorella fits nicely. Defensive-minded coach, defensive-minded player. But we've seen, especially this year, right off the start, what I've noticed from him, his skating has improved tremendously.
Absolutely.
He's able to move the puck. He's able to see his vision, too. He's able to see things that other players don't. You have him up on the point of the power play. He's able to create plays from wherever on the ice. It's honestly incredible how much he's developed from the player he was in Nashville to now with Columbus.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a young player like that, a young defenseman who's supposed to be an elite defenseman, got traded already in his career?
Yeah.
How?
Jack?
It made sense for what Nashville needed, but at the same time, it's head scratching how a player like that got traded.
And in his draft year in 2013, he was the unanimous #1 pick before Nathan McKinnon, and he dropped to #4.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, teams are giving up on him, and thank God Columbus Blue Jackets took a pick on him.
Yeah.
Jack, what do you got?
I got John Carlson off to a great start.
That's such a good pick.
Absolute
Great
stud. Playing on a Washington team that looks like they're going to compete for the Cup again. 5 goals, 16 assists in 13 games so far, and a +6 rating. He's just unbelievable.
Yeah. John Carlson is an absolutely outstanding pick, and it's also all great stuff, guys. And when we come back to the table, I will lay out our weekly hot takes. We'll be right back.
boy.
On Stuck in the Sin Bin.
Wrapped up like King Tut with no chorus showed or displayed. You're better off considering yourself for just played. As I cut and slice and squeeze you, bleed you like I'm making lemonade with a kicking a dope rhymes on the mic line. Combine some beats and bass lines. It's
Two Stuck in the Sin Bin. Introducing another new segment this year, our weekly Hot Ice Takes. All three of us individually will come up with an opinion that we believe is truly possible in the hockey world, while some may think otherwise. First up, to give their hot take, is Jack. What do you have for us? I'm nervous a little bit.
Aiden's going to love this.
Oh boy.
Islanders aren't making the playoffs this year,
Wow.
and they're going to have a top 10 pick,
Even after the start.
even after the start. Listen, all they have Barry Trotz, great coach, probably the best, one of the best coaches in the league. I think he might be the best, so I'll give you that. Great goalie coach, Mitch Korn, unbelievable. I worked one of his camps one time. Does great job. They got Varlamov and Grice, got Barzal. After that, mediocre defense.
Oh, Aiden,
I don't know about that.
fire back. I need to hear it.
Yeah, what do you got?
First of all, it's Brocktober. Brock Nelson
Yeah,
tearing
he's
it
so
up,
good.
leading the
Yeah.
team in points. But when you look at the back end of that team, what they did last year in front of Robin Leonard, granted Robin Leonard didn't face a lot of shots because of the defense. You got guys like Noah Dobson stepping in, Devon Taves, he's playing third line with Scott Mayfield.
Look. You're going to say that I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, the Islanders have the best D-core in the entire league. And if you look at the D-core, there is no stud on the D-core, Aiden. I don't know how to get that through to him.
Yeah, that'll never get it through his head.
Not to mention their
Noah
D-core.
Dobson, great pick. I like that pick for them. He'll be good. After that, who they got? Nick Leddy.
Scott Mayfield.
Yeah, Scott Mayfield. It's Brocktober, though.
Keep
I got
sleeping.
Brocktober.
Keep sleeping
Yeah,
on
I'm
him.
not
Keep
sleeping.
sleeping
I'm
on
being
him.
realistic. They snuck into the playoffs last year. Good for them. It's not happening again. We all know it. Face reality, Aiden.
All
I don't
right.
know about that.
All right. Aiden, what is yours?
All right, so I have Dallas. They're going to make the playoffs, but not only make the playoffs, they're going to make it in the top 3 spot in their division.
I don't know, man. This team does not look good right now.
But then you look down the lineup. Obviously, Sagan and Ben kind of underperforming. They'll get going. Ben's the captain of that team. He knows what it's like. Pavelski, they bring him in. He's playing fourth line, providing some guidance for those young guys. They'll step up. You saw Gurianov the other day. Those two backhand goals, unbelievable. When he gets going, he's on his game. He's going to be good.
Look,
Yeah,
I do not think that Dallas will make the playoffs if they continue the way that they do. The problems that they have out there seem like it's unsolvable. We were talking that they played Heiskanen and Klingberg. I told you they played the last 3 minutes of the game. That just goes to show that they can't trust the rest of their defensive core. And they have some pretty decent names. Esa Lindell, Andrei Sekera. I don't think this team makes the playoffs.
I do think they make the playoffs. Top 3 spot, though, that's a little much, I think. I think wild card, they'll be the last team in, they'll sneak in. I do think they may make some noise in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If they get there. I do think they will, but that's if they get there. I don't know. Are they going to have a St. Louis Blues moment? They're going to be terrible and then
They
turn
are
it around
comparable.
just like that?
It's the Corey Perry curse with this team. It's the Corey Perry. That's the reason they got it.
Get rid of Corey Perry in Anaheim, comes to Dallas, and
Yeah.
both teams just switch it up.
All right. What an absolutely fantastic first show, my guys. A lot of content for our viewers to think about and to discuss amongst themselves. For Aiden Ryan and Jack Tafalos, I am Michael McCormack, and we will see you back here 2 Sundays from now, same time, same place. Thank you so much for
Juice or your temperature. Ain't no literature. Listening to my literature. You like the way these rhymes laid and slayed. Bring your microphone, bring your beats, and let's play. And if it's funky, then it's funky.